Bentley truck on my Versace driveway. Looking like money back, 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 woo, money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. He said you look like this. He makes sure he put Cardi down on his list. Now why this? When I look at my snaps, I take a man and I won't give him back. I just walk into the booth and attack. I hit this guy in the roof will collapse. I've been broke my whole life. I have no clue what to do with these racks. Baby lay, waist snatch, back, straight back. Got lips like Angelina, belly truck tangerine, jumping on my. That's why they call it trampoline.
All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. Gets fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. From nearby Norcross, Georgia, it's Alvin Kamara. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Gun.
Manning to throw on second down. His throw incomplete. Cameron Meredith the intended target, and it'll bring up third down. Really solid coverage from the current NFC Defensive Player of the Week. Also had an interception in that game a week ago.
And it was fun to watch him in practice this week, wasn't it? To see how he understands spacing and when the ball's arriving, which hand to put out in front to try and knock it away. And he just exhibited it on that play.
Throwing is Manning on third down. And that is incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is taken at about the 14. Spinning away. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Ito Smith, his first carry. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
On second down, here's Ryan. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Coverage there by Von Bell.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Manning. That's complete to Meredith. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Falcons say they have it. They do. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, and then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now Ryan on 2nd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Let's go.
On 3rd and 1, Ryan looking deep for Julio. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. Bryant's extra point up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try to move the football.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Manning the throw on second down. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And this one will be brought back to the 22. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
A first down carry for Smith. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Matt Ryan, his second touchdown pass of this opening quarter. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On second down, Kamara trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. From the gun on 3rd down, Manning. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know that makes some adjustments.
It's caught over the middle. Hooper. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. The handoff to Smith, and he stopped immediately there. On the stop there defensively, Tyler Davison.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20, and he will bring it back to the 4-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this be who you are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll give it to him up the middle. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. But they need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. To throw is Manning. They go screen. This is Ingram. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I know you've got a baseball background, right?
A little bit. Started minor league ball.
Yeah, you did some of that, right? What do they do when they do the signals? An indicator, right?
Tells you whether it goes or not, yeah.
Yeah, whether the play's on or not. How about the indicators offensive linemen give when they're getting ready to run a screen pass? And if those get red, well, we just saw that there, didn't we?
No gain.
No gain. Deciphered it and finished the play off.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And here now come the Falcons. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And he comes back with one complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. You call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On second down, here's Smith. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll go with a keeper. So call that no gain on the sneak, and now they're still a yard short here on 4th.
They gain nothing, and all they need are inches. Usually we put this on the offensive line, but sometimes it's the quarterback's fault as well on the sneak. You've got to get low and burrow.
Usually we talk about O-line surge, their D-line surge leading to 4th. Fourth down. Here's Ryan. Open man is Cantrell. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. A big pickup of 12 yards on fourth down to keep this drive from stalling. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. Ryan now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Here's a give to Smith. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Play action. It's Ryan. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. Now, they tried to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground, instead going to an opposite color jersey.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
And that'll be hauled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. Matt Ryan now 3 first-half touchdown passes, and the Falcons will extend their lead. Bryant's extra point up and good, and the lead is up to 18 now. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing on 1st down is Manning. Now they go straight. It's complete. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. The loss of 3 on that 1st down pass play, now 2nd and 13. Working from the gun, Manning. Trying to lay one up deep. It's caught inside the 25. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Into the red zone now, Manning. Dancing to his left. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing again. Manning drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
Will Lutz on for the point after. Lutz with the extra point, and it makes the score 21-10. Lutz now to kick this one away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Ryan looking downfield for Jones. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we are at halftime here in the second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. Here's Khalif Raymond to return. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. Ryan now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Play action. Ryan. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Alex Anzalone in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
The Falcons on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Ryan. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 9 yards on the play and a 1st down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Now Ito Smith. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's 2nd and goal.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
Here we go now with Smith. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
Now this feels like old school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
And Bryant's kick is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. It's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in on making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
To throw on 3rd down, Manning. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Trying to get the run game going. Here's Smith. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They'll run it again with Smith. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Back now in Atlanta. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. The Falcons on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7. Now Ryan. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And able to get a little more breathing room out to the 5-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Steps away to his, and he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Ted McKinley in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. On third down, Manning. And able to get a little more breathing room out to the 5-yard line. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. He'll take this inside the 40. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now it's Smith. He'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Falcons on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 4. On the carry, here's Smith. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on third down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. They'll run it now with Smith. And room there to work it inside the 25. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The Falcons on third down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5.
21.
They'll run with Smith. And down inside the 15 he goes. And they get 10 yards there and convert on third.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Smith. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
They'll run it here with Smith. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
Get up!
This is Smith. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Ito Smith, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
One final try now for Manning. It's caught on the right side of Sneed. And Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for Atlanta, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they drop just their 2nd game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.